Hey YouTube friends and family, Donna Hastings here, bringing you some information about the real estate market. We are in 2021 and buyers have to do everything they possibly can to purchase a home and compete against other buyers. So the topic we're going to talk about today is escalation clause and appraisal gaps, because those are the two things that you can do to make your offer look better in the eyes of the seller when you're competing against other buyers. So what's an escalation clause? So an escalation clause is telling the seller that you're offering, let's say, $200,000, but you're really willing to pay up to $215,000, but you don't want to go right to $215,000. You want to save yourself some money if you don't have to go to $215,000. So you tell the seller, hey, I'll offer you $200,000, but I'll also offer you $1,000 more than your highest offer, but not to exceed $215,000. That's an escalation clause. You're willing to escalate your price up to a certain amount and by certain increments if the seller gets a higher offer than what your original offer is. And yes, the escalation clause says that they have to show you the other offer. They can black out, certain pertinent information like the buyer's name, etc. But they do have to show you a written offer above your $200,000 for you to be. So let's say it went to $205,000. He got an offer for $205,000. They show you that offer. You're willing to pay $1,000 more, so now your sales price is $206,000, and you won the bid, and you didn't have to go to $215,000. Isn't that a wonderful thing? So ask your agent about that, or show them this video, one of the two. So that helps you look better in the eyes of the seller because you're willing to go up in price and beat the highest offer that they have, as long as it's not over the $215,000. Now, can a seller come back to you and say, hey, I didn't get a higher offer than $200,000, but I like the idea that you're willing to go up to $215,000. Would you pay $207,000? And then it's up to you to say, sure, I'll pay $207,000, or, well, since you didn't get a higher offer, I'll do $205,000, and see if you can get them to agree at that price. In today's market, you really just got to do everything you can to win the bid. And you really do want to buy this year because the prices are projected to go up in the next 18 months to 24 months. All the economists that I follow are projecting the prices to go up. And you know what else is going to go up? Interest rates are looking to go up as well, because can they get any lower than where they're at now? And as the interest rate creeps up, the prices creep up, you're going to be paying more in the long run. So getting in today is your best bet. So what if I pay, let's say $207,000, but the appraisal only comes in at $202,000? Then what happens? Well, that's where an appraisal gap promise comes in. You also write into that same offer with the escalation clause, you go ahead and write in there too that you as the buyer are willing to pay XYZ amount over the appraised value, not to exceed the sales price. So if you're under contract for $207,000 and you're willing to pay $5,000 over the appraised value, and that appraisal comes in at $202,000, well, you're bringing an extra $5,000 to the table, and you're still closing at $207,000, even though your financing is based off of $202,000. Okay? If you're under contract for $207,000 and that appraisal comes in at $200,000, and your promise is $5,000, well, now you're paying $205,000. And you're bringing the extra $5,000 to the table, and your financing is based on $200,000. So again, why would you want to pay over the appraised value? Doesn't that seem ridiculous to pay over what the property is worth? Well, you know what? Appraisals are a matter of an opinion. They truly are. Now they do have to back it up with facts and other recent sales. When appraisers are looking at the subject property, the property you want to buy, and they're looking at others that have recently sold, and one might be updated and the other one is not as updated, then the appraiser is going to decide on their opinion what that difference is in value between the house that's updated and the one that's not. So some appraisers may say that difference is $5,000. Some may say that difference is $20,000. And that will affect the bottom line number that the property appraises at. So why would you pay more than the appraised value? Because it's a matter of an opinion. And if you get one appraiser, it might appraise for the sales price or even more, and the other appraiser is going to make it less. So it's hit or miss. And at the end of the day, it's really up to you. What's most important to you? Is this house the house that you really want to be in, and you can see yourself being there for 5, 8, 10, 20 years? Well, then if you did pay $5,000 over the appraised value and you plan to live there 5 or 10 years or something to that effect, you're going to make your money back. You know what? That's the best thing about real estate, is you won't lose your money. Real estate values never go to zero, so you'll never lose all your money when you buy in real estate. Okay, so what if it doesn't appreciate as much as you hoped it would in that 5 years? And it's still not the 205 value that you paid for 5 years before, and you paid the $5,000 over the appraised value. If you just wait a couple of more years, it'll come back to you, and during that time frame you're paying down the equity, and if you don't have to move, then stay in the house. You'll make the money back. Okay, well, that's my 2 cents for today. Please feel free to reach out to me, ask questions, leave comments. Would love to hear what your thoughts are about the escalation clause and the appraisal promise gap. I'm Donna Hastings. Talk to you later.